League 5, race 6 now, past the halfway mark for League 5. Exciting race last race with PTRT winning, closely followed by Red Paul, Dragon Eagle and Blackie. Had a superb battle as well going on. I thoroughly recommend you check it out. Today's video will be sponsored by Rum Bullion, the best rum can buy, because I've just had some and it's awesome and lovely and smooth. So yes, hopefully it's whetted my palate to make me talk more bollocks. But hey ho. So we will run you through the field. There's 14 runners in the last race, and it looks like Devious D has quit for race 2. Let's pause this so we can just run you through the field again. Let's go to, that's not, let me go up to the first place by going backwards. So the James, the flying pasty, didn't fly very far and has turned into a sausage roll now. Spun out twice in his efforts in the last race and quit. Well, hopefully he's fit enough anyway to carry on for this race. I think he spun it, maybe hurt himself, and the car was damaged. So he's now leading the pack here. The light has gone very dark for some reason. It did this in the last race. I commentated on St. Croix. As soon as it starts, it lights up again here. So I think that's a Jag. I think that's a Jag, yes. So MC Hammer, who unfortunately, like I said in the last race, torpedoed poor Goazi, I think it was, with a shot that a German U-boat captain would have been very proud of in the Second World War. But fortunately, he let Goazi come back on, but it took Goazi a while because he kept spinning it around to try and get back on. So Hammer here in the Ferrari in second place. Here's the unfortunate Goazi in a GTR in third. Azarath in a Honda fourth. Skivet in a Honda. Hopefully he's going to do all right in this race. He had a poor race in his Corvette last one. And fifth, Crazy Admiral had a steady race for him last race. I think he got about ninth, I think it was, something like that. In a Ferrari in sixth. 55.8 and a Honda here in seventh. Fat Pickles here in eighth. I just remembered who I'm missing. My favourite driver, the Aston driver. Where's Hunty the Punty? There's no Peugeot, no Aston. Is he not in this race? Oh, I'm missing the Aston driver. That's not fair. Where is he? Come on. There could have been a field of 15. That would have been awesome. Anyway, Blackie here in the Alpha in ninth. Dragon Eagle here, who had a fantastic battle with Blackie in the last race in a Honda in 10th. If I knew what that said at the back, I'd comment on it, but I don't know what Kein Zin Hart Nordag means. Hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. If not, it's got, what's that on the back there? It says fight for something rather. Fight for Beserker-Boy. That's what it should. That's what it says, I'm sure. Tricky in a beautiful liveried Logitech Honda here in 11th. Wrecked Paul in another Honda 12th, and guess what? PTRT in another Honda. So it's BMW in the first race series. It's now a Honda series here in the second race. So I've got my coffee ready, the drinks are ready, the drivers are ready. Let's crack on with Synchro. So it lights up straight away. I'm going to start up with the front guys here so I can see kind of like what's going on like that. So I can aim back. So here we go. 2, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we're off. Slow start there by the sausage roll James, who's just allowed the Hammer to get a good jump on him. There's a bit of bumping and barging back here. This is a bit of a melee going on this. Hope everyone gets through. Oh dear, there's a lots of bumping and barging, but so far, oh no, someone has unfortunately got caught up at the back here. Dragon Eagle, oh what a shame. Let's see what happens here. So, oh, who did he hit there? That looks like Fat Pickles. So Dragon coming into turn 1 here, drives up the inside, brakes. Fat Pickles comes in, Dragon goes out. Half a dozen of one, 10 of the other. I'm not really sure who's at fault there. If the steward's going to have a look at it, I'm not sure. So back here, Crazy Admiral now. Glorious looking Ferrari in the M&M's sponsored livery. Little tap there with Fat Pickles again, but someone again has come off of the back. Here's Wreck Paul. Oh, disaster for Wreck Paul. Let's see what happened to Wreck Paul. The race, the guy that came second in the last race, he comes along here and, oh my word, his nemesis, PTRT, takes out Wreck Paul. Oh my goodness. So the leaders from the last race have just accidentally taken each other off. It's another good shot there from PTRT, I have to say. So, with the race leaders well off the pace now at the back, let's run you through how this is all panning out. Skivet is up to first place. He's got past. Let's go back a little bit to see how Skivet got into the lead. So Skivet has got up through the field past Hammer and gets past James. So Skivet is now in the lead. This is a long old circuit. There's so many times that the lead can change. So someone's just taken third place, 55.8. It's just got ahead of Tricky there. Blackie's looking up the inside of Sim. This circuit's not great for camera angles. It's a lot of time. It's the best to go on board. So here we are. Sim has got past 55.8. So he was third in the last race. Oh, Blackie, what are you doing, mate? Oh, let's look at that again. Blackie leaves it far too late and takes out Billy Miller in the 55.8 here. There's also a battle going on here, but Blackie gets his braking point all wrong, leaves it far too late, takes Billy off, takes himself off, causes carnage behind. Where's 55.8? Blackie, you should have waited. How come you've not waited? You need to wait for 55.8 to get his... There he goes, he's waiting now. Oh, well done for waiting, mate, but I mean, you've got to let him pass. Oh, and Billy's lost it again now. Oh dear, it's carnage here at the back. So, PTRT's got past Blackie. Someone else has got a penalty here. Who's that's got a penalty? Dragon Eagle's picked up a penalty somehow. Oh, it's all happening on this opening lap here. So, let's quickly run through who's that? Crazy Admiral's all over the place with his... lagging, he's drifting wide. Is he drifting wide? No, he's not. Can you guess where he's going to be? Poor old Fat Pickles has got to figure out what else is going on with Crazy Admiral here, where he's going to be on the track to try and avoid what's going on. So it's tricky. Let's go back up the field and run you through. We're about halfway through lap one. Let's put the details on. I think we've got it all on anyway. Yeah, it's all on anyway. So here we are with Skivet holding it together now in first place. Here comes James across the bridge, closely followed by Tricky and Crazy Admirals having a little nibble at Tricky there. That sounds wrong, but I'm going to stick with it. And Fat Pickles in the other Honda, looking up the inside here of Crazy Admiral, doesn't make it stick. There's Fat Pickles. Azarath is up to 6. Wreck Paul has recovered and got to 7th. PTRT 8th. Blackie 9th. 55.8 10th. Blackie, I'm sure you should have given that spot over to 55.8. You took him off. And he was in front of you. The stewards may have to look at that. The Hammer's drifted back to 11th. Goazi's back into 12th. And Dragon, poor old Dragon. Racing incident taken off. So, coming up to the last corner, here comes just don't look at the Belgian flag. He's actually Scottish. Here comes Skivet leading race 1, and I can hear there's a whole load of drivers behind. Crazy Admiral has got past James and Tricky. Let's quickly go back because he was at 4th. Yeah, he goes at 4th. He undercuts Tricky, Tricky's a fast driver, and gets the drive here on. He's miles ahead now of James, the sausage roll, in 3rd place. Fat Pickles is looking very sporty today in this Honda. Daddy Pig there. Dun, 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 dun. And here we have Tricky now in 5th place. I'm so sad. I make myself laugh at my own jokes. It's terrible, isn't it? Anyway, Wreck Paul's now diving underneath. Azaroff takes his place cleanly. I'm sure he's got the pace. It would be interesting to see what kind of pace these guys had in the warm-up, so I know what kind of lap times they're doing. Blackie's still really not giving his space back to the 55.8, so, but let's see what happens here. Is Blackie going to undercut PTRT? No, he doesn't. PTRT just wide. Blackie goes far too shallow as well. Right, so while those boys are sorting themselves out, let's give Skivet a bit of airtime here. He's drifted a little bit wide there in a yellow-coloured Honda. Difficult to know what kind of pace Skivet was, and he's starting to pull out a nice sizable lead here to this melee of drivers. Here, Tricky's now got past Admiral into second place. On board with, well, no, we're back here with Fat Pickles. Crazy Admiral gets it wrong, getting into that blind apex little kink there. So now Tricky, here he is, he's got up to second place now. What's third in the last race? Second now. Nice little wolf signature on the back there. You can just see Skivet up ahead, the Flying Scotsman. James, the sausage roll, is keeping it together this race. Hopefully he doesn't quit this one. He's up into third in the Jag. Crazy, doing good for him. Well for him. He's normally around about 6th, 7th in the 8th in the finishings. He's holding on to 4th place, but is he going to hold on for much longer? Because Fat Pickles is side by side with him. Pickles has got his nose ahead here, coming into this sharp, well, that's not sharp, sorry, this fast left kink. Pickles gives Daddy Pig gives Crazy Admiral a decent amount of space there, but and very respectful, but doesn't actually need to. Oh, Wreck Paul gives Admiral a little bit of a love tap. Wreck Paul has fought his way back up now after being punted by PTRT. Blackie back here, 55.8. Can the 55.8 get back? Oh, he's gone far too deep there. So get the position back that he deserves. He smashes it into the barrier, but manages to hang on to it. Goodness me, the front of that Honda must be well armoured. PTRT's obviously had some sort of incident because he was ahead of these boys. Hammer back here, Azeroth back here, Dragon still trying to catch up to everyone, and Gowazi is obviously having a nightmare of a race back here in the GTR. So Skivet holding it together now. Got a bit of a gap here between himself and Tricky in second place. Tricky is a fast driver. He was third in the last race. There's Tricky coming into the foreground now. Coming up to the end of lap 2. 7 minutes gone. We're only getting about 10 laps out of this race, if that. Oh, there's a big battle burning down here. 3 abreast comes Paul, Pasty and Admiral, and it looks like Paul is going to go around the outside of the sausage roll. And then he does. He makes it stick. But Pasty has got some sort of penalty, so that's going to make him drift off those two. Yeah, he's scrubbing that penalty off back there. James is going to fall back now to Fat Pickles. As Daddy Pig has got him. So can the Ferrari driver of Crazy Admiral up to 4th? I think it's probably the highest Admiral has been in a race this season, and he's got 3rd place ahead, and he's not letting that Honda get away. So this must be a good track for Admiral. Keeping his distance there from Fat Pickles behind. Oh, heard some sort of contact ahead there. Was that just a backfire from an engine? Not sure. So, while we have a quick stationary moment, all the drivers are there or thereabouts and not far from each other. We'll run through the field. In first place still, Skivet here. I'm going to call you Belgian because you got a Belgian flag, but I know you're Scottish, but you can't have dual nationality, okay? So you're Belgian or Scottish, one of the two. Belgique? I don't know. Anyway, so Skivet here in first place, holding on to first place in the middle of lap 2, holding off Tricky 74 in another Honda, but it looks like Tricky is gaining significantly over Skivet here, coming around at this fast, long straight here in second place. Wreck Paul has worked his way through the field after being taken off. Superb driving by Paul to get that far ahead. So there's Honda 1, 2, 3, Ferrari 4 with Crazy Admiral, Fat Pickles 5th, the Flying Pasty 6th, Blackie 7th, 55.8 8th, PTRT 9th, and where's Azeroth? Is he coming down? Yeah, here he comes in another Honda. Azeroth 10th, Dragon Eagle sticking at it in 11th, the Hammer in 12th, Gawazi back here in last place. He's dropped right off the pace now. So This is where the main action is. I'm just going to have a quick drinks break. Our drinks break sponsored there by Asda Coffee and French Honey. Yes, French Honey. I got it from Morzine. There's a shop there that just sells honey. It's awesome. I went skiing there. Anyway, I digress. Too much rum. Skivet. It's going to be a case of how long can he hang on against the hard charging Tricky there in second place. Looking at the field, we'll just run you through the field again at the end of lap 3. Skivet crosses the line now. It's beginning lap 4. Skivet first. Tricky second. There's Paul. Oh, these are lovely shots there in third. Admiral. They were so quick I couldn't see Blackie. And here comes James in 55.8. So James is... what's happened there? I think James has been overtaken by Blackie now. James is going drifting a little bit wide in that Jag. Firing past his again is looking more like a sausage roll today. Drifting back through the field again. He was quite high up. PTRT must be ruining the fact that he had that incident in the first lap. He's got company at the back here with his fellow Dutchman, Dragon Eagle. Azarath in the Honda. He's keeping on to the back of Dragon Eagle, it's got to be said, so that's a good, nice drive from Azarath. Hammer's hanging on to the tails of Azarath, and Gawazi's still on his own back here, just keeping it consistent. It looks like he's got a bit of a battered back end of a Nissan GTR there. So, let's see what the distance is between the two. As you can see, right, let's go on board with Rec Paul. This group up front are starting to concertina now. We are 11 minutes into the race. Paul has done a 3:09.5, which is an extremely quick time. Tricky's only done a 3:11 and Skivet's only done 3:13. So these boys will eventually come to meet at some point on the track. Coming up to this fast little kink here. You need to be brave and hang on to it, and you can go through there and gain a lot of traction, momentum, up to, this is Castle Corner. Looks like Sim is thinking about having a dive up the inside of Skivet, but backs out wisely. Now coming up to Bridge. Original names these for the circuit that I'm giving them. Castle Corner and Bridge. Going up to the end of this straight here. I'm sure, here we go, Tricky's got a drive here on Skivet. Skivet's got the inside line here, coming up to green S's. Can he hang on to the braking? No, here we go, to the green S. She's going to allow Paul here. So Tricky's got into the lead. Nice driving by that Honda driver, and it looks like Paul is sizing up Skivet here. He's going to try and go, no, he was thinking about the outside, but he's off just a tad there. Honda cacophony here of noise. 1, 2, 3. Fat Pickles, I think, is in Honda's as well. Oh, I thought Paul was going to take the back end of Skivet. Skivet goes really wide on his own anyway. So that's just allowed Paul to get past the flying Belgium. Scott, one or the other, whatever you are. In third place, so Tricky first, Paul second, Skivet first. There's another Honda Daddy Big. Fat Pickles back here in fourth place. Blackie now back here in fifth. He's got a gap now between him and Crazy Admiral in sixth place. Oh, there's a battle going on here. So 55.8 has caught up to the sausage pasty. He's going backwards. He's only in the flying pasty if he's going forward. So he's a sausage roll at the moment. James going backwards back to 8th place. 55.8 takes his position. Got a bit of a battered back rear there of that Honda. Pretty sure the Honda is going to is the car to beat in this race. So it'll be interesting to see if the Jag Power can catch up to the Honda even with the drafting there. No, it doesn't look like the sausage roll can. Although he gives him a little tap there. So just looking up against the screen, looking at the map top right to see where everyone is. Drivers obviously now starting to string out. We're approaching halfway, and as you can see, they're 55.8, starting to ease away from the sausage roll of James here. James a little bit late with the power there, so let's go back up the field to this battle here. I thought so. Paul, who's doing 309s, is looking to make a move here. Let's go on board inside here. Definitely got a draft here. He's looking right. Makes the move past Tricky, and he's in the lead. Can he hang it on? Can he make it stick around this corner? No, Tricky's still there. Tricky bravely holds on to his, and quite rightly, holds on to his lead. Flames spitting out the back of that Honda. So these two boys really fighting it now. Wreck Paul was probably desperate to get a first place after he spent so long looking at the back end of PTRT of the last one. Skivet has had some sort of incident back here in third. So let's just go back up here with Paul. Is he going to try and outbrake Tricky into the green S? He is, you know. He blimmin' is. And he makes it stick as well. Oh, Tricky gave Paul a lot of respect there, has to be said. So Paul has finally got in front after being so close for so long in race 1 of the evening. Has now got his Honda in front of Tricky. Time for a drinks break. So here we go. We are halfway through the race. Lap 5. Be roughly about a 10 lap race. We'll go up on board here with Wreck Paul as he goes through that superb apex there as he goes through the last corner. Starting to eke out a little bit of a lead now over Tricky. So Paul first place, Paul first place, Tricky second place. Here comes Skivet, who's now been caught by Fat Pickles, who's looking up the inside of Skivet. Is he going to make it stick? He is. Nice move there by Daddy Pig. Is Skivet going to undercut him though? Where's Skivet? There he is. He's thinking about it. Honda versus Honda, screaming down to turn 2. It looks like Daddy Pig's got the inside line and he holds it. So nice driving there by the League 5 boys. So it's now Honda 1, 2, 3, 4. Skivet gets a poor drive out of that nasty left-hand turn over the hidden apex because of the barriers and the trees there. So Skivet's now 4th. Blackie's here in 5th place in the Alpha. Admiral's holding station here in 6th, and he's got a bit of a gap now between him and Billy here in 55.8 and 7th. The sausage roll is drifting further and further back now. In the Jag, he's drifted back to 8th. Oh, looks like there's a change back here. Just saw it move. So what happened here? So PTRT drifts far too wide, smashes the barrier. Dragon's going to come round here. Yellow flags, flags are out to Warner drivers. So Dragon's got back up to 9th. PTRT is now, by his own mistake, dropped back to 10th. Azarath still off the pace from PTRT now in 11th. MC Hammer here in 12th. Garazi's just crossing the line now. We're well off the pace, doing 327s. Goodness me, when Paul's doing the 309s. And as you can see, he's pulled out a much bigger gap now between himself in the lead and Tricky behind. Here comes Paul up to Castle Corner. Nice tight apex there. That's a good drive out, going past the campsite on the left. Coming along the road to the bridge. Straight, here he goes. Going up to the green S's. So, Tricky, about a second behind at the moment. Fat Pickles doing really well for him. Go Daddy Pig. Dun, 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 dun. And he's obviously pulled out a bit of a lead now. So Fat Pickles, hold it together, mate, for your, I think it'll be your first podium this season. So there's Skibbit now. He's being caught by Blackie in the Alpha, who got the green S's, who gets that very sideways into the entrance to the green S's. Admiral's got a 6th place. I think that's about the highest he's been so far. Billy Miller here in the 55.8. Catching the Admiral slightly, it looks like. The sausage roll is going backwards. PTRT's off the pace of the sausage roll. Azeroth cruising around, admiring the view here in 10th. Dragon Eagle, oh, keep it together. I'm surprised. Your time will come. Your time will come. You'll get up further up the field. In 11th, Hammer's just starting to go over the bridge, and Garazi is waving at the crowd, admiring the view still back here. So everyone's really starting to string out quite a bit now with 10 minutes to go. Lap 7, 13 runners. So Honda 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe, yeah, with 5th place Blackie and an Alpha. Tricky's not drifting off that far from the back of Paul, so one mistake from Paul and Tricky will be right back on his rear bumper. Trying to go through the field, see if there's any battles brewing. Fat Pickles doing decent lap times there, 3:10s. Surprisingly quick for Danny Pig here. It's obviously his track, his car. This one, he's enjoying this. Skibbit was in the lead for a while, was still only doing 3:13 as his fastest lap. Whereas, so that's like 3-4 seconds off the lead pace. Blackie's got it in the. He's got a 2-second advantage if he can catch up to the Skibbit just a bit further up the road there. Admiral. You can see Blackie up there at 55.8. You can see the Admiral. As you can see, the field is properly strung out now. Really trying to find where the nearest battles are going. Oh dear, what's happened to PTRT? He won the last race and he is having a nightmare second race. He's binned it once himself, or he's binned it once himself, all by himself, and he's saying hello to the barrier yet again, which has just allowed Azeroth to catch right back up to PTRT. Azeroth must be wondering how come the fast driver of PTRT is back so far, and the same has to go for a Dragon Eagle. He's a quick driver, but he's trying to catch these two. Is Azeroth looking? PTRT goes wide again. The pressure's told. Azeroth cleanly takes the Dutchman, and Azeroth's a Dutchman as well. I just noticed. So the Dutch are having a orange party back here in 9th, 10th, and 11th. Dragon's caught up to the party now as well. That'd be interesting to see Dragon versus PTRT. Two quick drivers at the rear of the pack. And MC's still cruising around here in 11th, and Garazi in the last place. So, trying to see where's Tricky there. So, yeah, Paul still a bit of a distance ahead of Tricky. Fat Pickles just needs to hold it together, and he'll get his, I believe it would be his first podium this season here in 3rd. He's got the right car for it. Skibbit's falling away from Pickles. Skibbit's not going to catch him. Skibbit's only doing 3:13s, whereas Pickles is doing 3:11, 3:10s. So just trying to find where the nearest battle is. If you look at the map at the top right, literally there is a big gap between most of the drivers. Looks like, I know someone is, I think it's Garazi is still running. There's the arrow at the very back, stationary for a minute there. So we ride on board here with the M&M's Blackie. Trying to be hunted down by the M&M's Admiral in 6th place still. 55.8, so it's all a bit stationary at the moment with 7 minutes to go. It doesn't look like anyone's particularly catching anyone at the moment, and so the only battle really is the one back here, the 9th, 10th and 11th, with Azeroth being part of the Dutch party here with PTRT, and here we are with Dragon Eagle. PTRT in the flying snot-coloured Honda trying to get on the inside line, but he needs to realise that there's a car there, and the car is driven by Dragon Eagle. So PTRT is having a shocker of a race here. So can Dragon Eagle now get a toe up here to outbrake Azeroth into turn one? They both go pretty late. PTRT's dropped off the pace here of these two. No, so we'll come back to that in a minute. Looks like it's a bit of a gap now between these two. Well, these three. PTRT has dropped off to 11th place. Disaster. Oh no, Dragon Eagle's gone around the outside. He's trying to go around the outside. Oh, and Azeroth bumps him going through the in. Let's have another quick look at that. That was an audacious move there by Dragon Eagle. PTRT. Sorry, Azeroth gets it wrong going into that turn. Loses all momentum. Misses his apex completely. Bumps Dragon Eagle. And loses both to Dragon Eagle and PTRT now. So PTRT is going to be nibbling at the back of Dragon Eagle. And he already dives up the inside. Dragon Eagle undercuts him again though. Little tap there from PTRT. Dragon's got the position cleanly. And Azeroth has spun off. How did Azeroth get involved in that? Let's quickly go back to that. So while Dragon Eagle and PTRT are having a little squabble here, how did Azeroth manage to spin? Oh, he dives up the inside too hard into the side of PTRT and unfortunately comes off worse for wear. So, back up to bridge with Paul majestically cruising now with quite a sizable lead over Tricky here in second place. Fat Pickles still holding on for it could be his first podium position here in third. Skivett in fourth, and he is slowly being caught by Blackie here in fifth. Possibly Blackie can reel in Skivett with 5 minutes to go. It's about a 3-second lead I'd say he's got. Blackie can do 3:11s, whereas Skivett's done 3:12. So Skivett has got the hurry up now from his pit crew about that Blackie is closing in on him. He needs to keep it together for the last 4 minutes, which will be, let's go up to Rec Paul to see where he is on the track. So if Rec Paul crosses the line 3:08, he's done a 3:08 time. So Paul goes across the line now. There's 3 minutes 20 seconds or so to go. 4 minutes. So, yeah, so he's probably going to get 2 more laps. He'll cross the line definitely one more time with time still left on the clock. So Paul will certainly finish with in about 2 laps time. Tricky will probably do the same. Pickles will probably get across the line, but down this field this could be the last lap for some of these drivers that they're on now with 3 minutes to go. Skivett's still holding on to 4th place. Blackie's there in 5th. So Admiral having a decent race for him here in 6th place. 55.8 is not catching up to the Admiral, and the Sausage Roll is drifting further and further back in the Jag. So Dragon Eagle's still ahead of PTRT. This is the closest on the track battle we've got at the moment, but it's down here for 9th and 10th place, and surprisingly PTRT is doing 3:13s. I thought it'd be quicker than that. Dragon Eagle's doing 3:12s. That's about 2-3 seconds off the pace of the lead driver Paul. He's managed to throw in a 3:08, which is a superb time. Azeroth 11th, Hammer 12th, Garazi still back here in 13th. So 3 minutes to go now. Look at that, 3:08.4. Rec Paul is tearing up this racetrack. There must be scorch marks along the track where he's been driving. That is hot stuff indeed. He's catching up to, he's at Castle Corner now. He's coming along to Bridge. Garazi is just coming to the end of Bridge, so it's possible that Rec Paul might even lap Garazi in the closing stages of this race. Everyone properly strung out. So another quick drinks break as we take you into the final stages. So here we have Red Bull, who's second in the last race. He's managed to break the duck for the second race here with 1 and a bit minutes to go. He is coming round to the next to last corner, and the last corner is up there, so he's definitely going to cross the line. There's still a minute and a half to go. Some of these drivers are definitely going to have to finish on this lap. So anyone that's in a battle a bit further back down, they're going to have to finish it now. Paul's still pushing very hard there. As Paul crosses the line now for lap 10. There is just over a minute to go. So as we get to 29 minutes, I'll start drifting back to see if anyone's still fighting for position, because I can see some. I'm pretty sure Dragon and PTRT are still nose to tail with 45 seconds to go, and they're not going to make it another lap. So let's quickly go back down here. It's Tricky still in second place. Pickles, superb driving for Pickles. Daddy Big back here in third place. Going to get a podium, his first podium. So here we have Blackie has caught up with Skivitt. So these boys are going to fight now to the end of this lap. Skivitt holding on to fourth place for the moment. Can Blackie find a way past? Blackie's certainly the faster driver. So I'm keeping an eye on the time as I talk this. There's about 4 or 5 drivers which are going to finish this lap. We have 7 seconds to go to 30 minutes, and they're not going to cross the line. I'm going to quickly go back to them now. So here we have Dragon Eagle has managed to hold out in front of PTRT. He will get 9th place, surely. Is it across the line? Yep. Dragon Eagle 9th, PTRT 10th, Azaroth 11th, Hammer coming along here. Whereabouts is he? He is coming up to last turn now. Hammer will pick up 12th. Comes down the start finish straight now, and there we go for his 12th place. So Garazi will be last. So wrecked Paul. I know Blackie and Skivitt are fighting. I can see that Skivitt's still ahead of Blackie at the moment. Let's quickly go back to see. Yep, then no to tell. Blackie flashing his lights. Skivitt valiantly holding on to 4th place. I don't want to focus this too much because I want to see what happens. I want Paul to get the glory of going across the line, but Skivitt goes wide. The pressure's told. But he's managed to keep the inside line here, coming into the bridge straight. Let's go on board with Blackie. He's in front. Oh, Skivitt's binned it. Oh, disaster. Skivitt nearly binned it. Coming out of this corner here, the pressure's finally got to Skivitt. He drifts wide there. Oh, sorry about that. I do apologise. Let's go back to Skivitt. Let's watch it from this point of view. I do apologise about the camera angles there. So Skivitt comes around here, brakes too late, trying to defend his line. Gets far too wide, spins it up on the grass, which just leaves Blackie to waltz off now into 4th place. Will Skivitt recover before Admiral? There's Admiral coming along at the bridge. So we go back up to Rec Paul now. Didn't quite catch Garazi. Garazi? I don't know how you say his name. Hopefully I got it right, mate. But superb driving there from Paul. Massively fast times over the rest of the field. Comes around the corner for the last time at St. Croix to take a well-deserved win for the win, and Rec Paul finishes in 1st place. Here comes Tricky for another well-deserved second place, and Fat Pickles was slowly catching Tricky, but Tricky finishes second. Fat Pickles with his ecstatic pit crew leaning over the wall comes across third for his first podium position. Here comes Blackie now. Kept it clean apart from the one incident 55.8 and kept it pressure onto Skivitt to take the fourth place. Here comes Skivitt, who was in the lead for a while but has done well to hang on to fifth place. Here goes to Skivitt, and Admiral was catching Skivitt. He will be sixth. 55.8 Billy Miller with a bit of a battered back end there on his Honda will be seventh. And here comes, he was once called the Flying Pasty, but he kind of like went backwards in that Jag today. So he's the Sausage Roll. The Ginster Sausage Roll still got a long way to go to pick up his 8th place. Is James Harben. Taking it easy, not pushing that car anymore. Coming up to the last corner. I'm pretty sure with the results today it would mean Rack Paul would be top of the league if he wasn't already. Anyway, here we go. James coming across the line to finally finish his handbrake turns far too short of the line, smashes the car, donuts around again, still hasn't finished. Is he going to reverse over the line? The Sausage Roll does. He finishes going backwards. There you go, League 5, race 6 in the bag. 4 more races to go. How's it going to end out? Thank you for watching and see you again soon.